For the joy and glee of the Terps' final game of the Swanton Rodgers from Calgary, Alberta conference play. What are you watching for early in this one here tonight?
Yeah, both teams have to take care of the basketball. They both have struggled a little bit this season in turning the ball over. And then obviously Maryland's going to hit the glass. Old Dominion is going to have to box out, keep them from getting second chance points.
Our crew chief is Brian Dorsey with Steve McJunkins and Michael Irving, our three officials. And the Terps, off the loss at Virginia, their last time out. And looking to get back on track. A little zone look from Old Dominion in the early going.
Yeah, really packing it in. Want to force Maryland to kick out for three. They're going to really clog up the paint and make it difficult for them at the rim.
And Swanton Rodgers, his 18th block this season. That leads the Monarchs. ODU out of the Sun Belt, a 4-9 record, 1-1 in league play, an early trip on the take by Shaw, and the foul goes against the Terps here in the first minute of this one, and it's on Darius Adams, the freshman.
And both teams starting in the 5-out action, spreading the floor, looking to get some penetration to the rim.
Robert Davis Jr., number 4, the Sun Belt preseason player of the year, and they need more from him. He's shooting just 29%. Tough shot, missed that time by Shaw. Here comes Solomon Washington.
Shaw's going to be aggressive to the basket. He doesn't shoot many threes. When he misses those, Maryland can get out and run in transition and try to attack.
Adams, strong take, floats it out. Mills for 3. That's good for the Terps.
That's what you want. Without Pharrell Payne posting up, your guards have to get into the paint. They have to look for shooters on the outside.
Tavares, Maryland shooting nearly 34% from 3. That's low. Backdoor that time, knocked away and stolen by the Terps. Mills sprints, Saunders couldn't get free for a three-pointer. Skip it out to Adams, now a 3. Back of the rim, and Washington fighting but couldn't grab the rebound.
That's a win right there for Old Dominion. If you can keep Washington off the glass, keep them from getting extra possessions, you can stay in this game.
Now, Maryland opponent shooting 38% from 3. That one missed by Jarrett Turner, but that's been a big point of emphasis for Buzz Williams and the staff. We've got to get out to the line and defend.
Yeah, they call it run-outs. You want to run out there and take away the shot. Don't even let them get it off. If they can get to that point, Maryland will be able to play the defense that Buzz Williams wants them to play.
A second chance for the Terps. Here's Saunders, you talked about in the open, drives the lane and will shoot 2. For a Maryland team that averages 28 free throw attempts per game, that is the most of any power conference team in the country.
Yeah, number 8 in terms of the free throw percentage to their field goal attempts. And just like that, Saunders getting it at the elbow, looking to attack. He's not thinking pass unless he absolutely has to, and they need that with Pharrell Payne being out.
Saunders normally 77%, makes the first, and Buzz Williams, this is a big night for him and his family. They're hosting Buzz's Bunch. It's a group of campers with special needs who love basketball from ages 6 and 7 to those competing in the Special Olympics. And kudos to Buzz, his wife Carmen. This began when they were at Marquette in 2008, Tavares.
Yeah, such a great cause to be able to give back to the community, show the kids that we love them.
Wild Sky slams it down in a foul.
Who said these guys can't attack the rim? Without Pharrell Payne, they still have athletic guys, and Isaiah Watts putting it through the basket, showing them exactly how explosive he can be. But it starts with the defense, great effort, great explosive finish for Isaiah Watts. Could have got a foul there, I thought, but that's how you attack the basket.
And gets a 3-point play. 8-0 start for the Terps in 2+ minutes.
I like when Buzz goes to this three-quarter court. Sometimes they go back to zone, sometimes they match up, but it gives the Maryland Terps a chance to slow the game down a little bit, get their defense set.
Battle knocked away and a steal for Maryland. Andre Mills to the basket for 2, no. Pulled down by Davis. Lob to the rim, Turner kept it inbounds and alertly off the foot of Washington. A smart play by a coach's son.
Absolutely. Jared Turner, Gonzaga legend, Steve Turner's son. A lot of battles with Coach Mike Jones, the current head coach of Old Dominion. But you don't see Jared Turner in the paint too often. He loves to shoot the three. 26 of his 28 shots coming in were from three, already taken one. I knew he wasn't going to take that layup.
That was like the softest toss of a player to get an out-of-bounds call you'll ever see. ODU 0 for 2, and now 0 for 3 as Davis misfires on the three ball, shooting 29% from the field, Tavares, and 30% from three as Washington, the spin move, and he scores.
Love to see Washington attacking the basket. That's where he's at his best. Yes, he's a capable shooter, but when he puts the ball on the floor, he can really wreak havoc on the Old Dominion defense.
A 10-0 start for Maryland. Funnel to Davis, blocked, going up, and out of bounds, stays with the Monarchs, but the big swat for Watts.
That's one of those examples of a run out. They know, even though Robert Davis hasn't shot the ball well, he's a capable shooter, so we want to get to him before he can get it off or be right there on the catch if he still shoots it.
Jordan Battle, the senior from Norfolk. Step back for three. Off the mark. Here's Watts. Here come the Terps. Watts. And they'll reset it. If the name sounds familiar, Watts, his grandfather, the late Slick Watts, the legend with the Sonics back in the day. Skip it outside. Adams for three. Nails it.
That was a great read. Old Dominion looking to force the ball screen down. Took advantage of it, was able to get baseline drive in for a shot. Before, I was at their game a few weeks ago against George Mason, and they got down 20 points early and clawed all the way back to take the lead. That's what he's hoping. He thinks this team is capable of doing that.
Drew McKenna, number 7 in for Old Dominion. An 0-5 start for the Monarchs with 3 turnovers.
Maryland now in their zone, little 1-1-3 matchup action.
5 to shoot. McKenna ducks in, and wild miss against Solomon Washington. Adams cut off on the baseline. And good defense there by Zach Wiggins, brother Aaron, with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and played 3 years with Maryland under Mark Turgeon.
Love to have a baseline runner off this flex action. Allows all their guards to be aggressive in different scenarios.
Watts relocates short on the three ball, but there's Washington for the board. They call him solo, and right now he's playing in his 5th game after beginning the season out with the ankle injury. Adams ducks in off balance, and he's fouled, and Adams will shoot 2 for the Terps with over 5 come by. A 13-0 lead for Maryland, and that foul is the first on Wiggins.
It's actually pretty good on-ball defense, and that time Old Dominion stayed home. I guess Coach Jones got on them in the huddle about over-rotating. They stayed home, but Adams is crafty, still able to get to the rim, still able to draw contact.
He has now drawn, Tavares, 28 shooting fouls. Now Payne leads the way with 44, but this Maryland team, the most free throw attempts per game in the nation among power conference teams.
An absolute staple for Buzz Williams' coach team. He loves to get guys into the paint, and they seek contact. They don't avoid it.
We're at shoot-around today, and associate head coach of Maryland, Devin Johnson, said they're going to try to take the air out of the ball, Old Dominion. The problem is now they're down 15-0, so you need to generate some shots.
Yeah, you want to see guys play aggressive, but again, that ball screen defense with Watts getting out in transition, his recovery made that play. He got hit, the big didn't have to step up. He was able to get back, make a play on the ball.
Watts with 5 after the block of the 3. Every Maryland starter scored. Watts with 5, and Adams with 5 to lead the way, and a near steal again. McKenna the other way, and the first points for the Monarchs. It took nearly 6 minutes.
Yeah, you see Old Dominion's running a lot of handoffs. That was an emphasis with Coach Buzz Williams and his staff during shoot-around. We're going to blow those up. So that's why they're getting so many turnovers and almost turnovers. That time it worked in Old Dominion's favor.
Adamson, no rush, gets it back for three, knocks it down against his own.
I love watching Darius Adams shoot the ball. So pure. That was at least 2 or 3 steps off the three-point line. He's an incredible scorer, incredibly versatile.
The Terps, 6 for 11. Inside, a block but a foul, and Wiggins will shoot a pair for ODU. And Old Dominion, conversely, 1 of 8 and 0 of 5 from three-point range. Solo Washington with his first for Maryland.
I've been there before, and as a player, sometimes you just need to see one go in. and that layup by McKenna for Old Dominion maybe can get them going a little bit.
And for Maryland, some subs. Diggy Coit into the game for the first time, along with George Turkson. And for Old Dominion, they bring on Jared Turner again for Swanton Roger. And Wiggins makes a second. For a moment there, I think they almost had 6 players on the floor in the Monarchs, but the coach, Mike Jones, and the officials said, wait a minute, come back,
Yeah.
come in, come back.
They got to change some things up. Looks like they're going into their zone. They got to do something different to try to disrupt Maryland's rhythm.
Mills to the right, no.
Maybe 6 guys is the answer.
A power play. McKenna drive and kick. It's Hubbard, nails the 3 for ODU.
There it is, one goes in. Sometimes it comes in phases. You get a little bit of a rhythm. See if the zone can get him another stop.
Adams off the screen, they'll slow it up. And here's David Diggy Coit off the bench in this one tonight. Washington ducks inside against 2 defenders, and McKenna with the help blocks it out with 6 to shoot.
Old Dominion plays different styles of zone, and so whatever offense Maryland wants to run, getting it into the middle works against it all. That time Washington was able to get it into the middle, but great play by McKenna on the block.
Tavares, Alex Austin, number 24 in for Maryland, along with Miles Rice, who's going to inbound.
As a Chicago guy, I love to see Alex Austin getting some burn. Great player at Kenwood Academy out of Chi-Town.
We're in the shot clock. Adams launches. Rebound Hubbard. Windy City guy who coached in the Mid-Atlantic at Loyola. You've seen it all.
A lot of time in a lot of areas throughout the country, but nothing like DMV basketball.
Yeah, reach in that time on Miles Rice, man from Columbia, South Carolina. So Maryland with their 3rd. And Rice, the backup point guard. Tavares, what's Buzz Williams hoping to see from him as he still recovers slowly from the ankle injury?
Yeah, obviously Miles Rice is capable of being a starter in this league, and his ability to score, but also his ability to get into the paint and set up his teammates is exactly what Maryland's going to need as we get into Big Ten play.
Off the Wiggins miss, a second chance, but it's thrown away. The turnovers now 4 for Old Dominion and none for Maryland. Now we have a timeout of the...
But to get him back early in Big Ten play, look for the Terps to be able to recover and battle back with him on the court.
And a Buzz Williams transfer from Texas A&M. So you count on him in that regard as well. The zone look for Old Dominion right now.
Yeah, again, different zone than they've played so far. This time it's a 1-3-1. They're going to really try to get extended, but you got to guard the ball. You can't leave shooters. But sometimes that extension, that change of defense can disrupt the guy's rhythm.
Yeah, Rice missing the 3. The Terps now 3 of 8 from beyond the arc.
And very difficult to come off those handoffs. Maryland jumping in the way, making it tough. Better shot, better offense that time by Shaw.
Casey Shaw averaging 16 points per game, knocks it down. His first points. Old Dominion, a slow start. but a 9-3 run since. Maryland scored the first 17 of the game.
Again, changing defenses, this time back to the 2-3. The possession before, they got the missed 3 on a 1-3-1. Coach Jones is going to mix it up and try to keep Maryland off rhythm.
This was pregame. This was Hope at 4:25 Eastern. And Pharrell Payne getting the free throws in before the rest of his teammates took the floor here at Xfinity Center. Vocal at practice. Good to see him out there earlier today.
Yeah, he wants to be out there. I hope my wife, who was an all Big Ten player as well back in the day, didn't see those injuries. She hates watching the injuries when they get replayed on TV.
Well, she's got to watch you. As the three is good for Mills, but that one against Marquette was the ultimate scare, and he was just fine.
Absolutely. Got back up, and I think even now, if he had to play tonight, he probably could. I don't know that for a fact, but I know they're excited that they're not expecting him to be out much longer.
23-9 Terrapins as we near the midway point first half here at Xfinity Center. Shaw, the step through. Terps all over it.
First.
Point the other way. Lob to the rim. Washington brought it down, was shoved by McKenna, and the foul on the floor is the 5th on ODU.
First sighting of Diggy Coit tonight. Right away made his presence felt, able to push the ball, look for the alley-oop in transition, but I expect Diggy Coit to get incredibly aggressive as this half goes on.
Yeah, back in Swan Roger for Old Dominion. McKenna with his second. Well, Diggy Coit, 41 in this building, a record for the Xfinity Center against Mount St. Mary's in November. He had 31 against Michigan, so he could be quiet now as he nearly lost it. It trickles to Mills and they recover, but he can light it up in a flash.
And that's exactly why Buzz Williams decided to go with him at this moment. A couple of dead possessions against the zone. You know he can light it up. He's going to look for him to be aggressive regardless of which zone Old Dominion plays.
Off the miss by Mills. Jordan Battle. And he's tripped up and fouled. That's the 4th on Maryland. David Diggy Coit from Columbus, New Jersey, last 3 games. Can't ask for more. Nearly 20 per game.
Yeah, ultimate green light. Ball's in his hand. He's able to create, shoots threes off the bounce. Just an incredible scorer, incredible balance to his game.
Fighting to the screen, 3 rims out that time for Battle. Here's Coit for Saunders in rhythm, short for 3, Battle to rebound. Battle stripped and stolen by Saunders. It was kicked back by Turner. The turnovers, you have 5 for Old Dominion, Maryland with none so far.
Look for the roll replace action here. Actually, that's the difference with Saunders in the game. He ended up popping. They get a lot of throwback, throw in, but he adds a different dimension as a capable shooter.
Quite missing rebound for Battle, and that's what you miss with Payne, right? The roll to the rim, not the pop.
Right, exactly. It's a different game when he's in, but adding that stretch to 4 big can really help as well.
Offensive on the screen, Swanton Roger, the former Terrapin, with his second.
Yeah, it's tough here. They're forcing it down to the baseline. Callum has to get set on that screen. You got to give him a space if he can't see. You got to give him at least 1 foot to be able to take a step. That time he was right up on him. Defender couldn't see him. Automatic offensive foul.
7-footer. Played 21 games as a freshman at Maryland, then 31 as a sophomore, and now his second year at Old Dominion under Mike Jones. Washington into 4 defenders, frees up Mills. Now Coit, the ball fake. Mills relocates. Rimmed out, but that was good offense by Maryland.
Yeah, really good offense. Washington got into the paint, put Old Dominion in rotations, ended up getting a couple decent looks, took one that'll go in.
Davis, he needed something to go down and get going, knocks down the 3.
I'm a big Robert Davis Jr. fan. Preseason Player of the Year pick. Hasn't shot it well, as we mentioned earlier, but he is capable of getting it going and can explode on any night.
Kick to three, that's good. Nice answer by Watts on the assist by Diggy Coit.
Yeah, that time Davis Jr. got caught up in that ball screen. If there's no help, if you don't help until Diggy Coit gets into the paint, you're in trouble. Great kick out for three.
And Maryland 5 of 13 now, Tavares, three-point range.
Yeah, that's the way they're going to have to play with this smaller lineup. They can really space the floor, and, you know, on any given night when they're playing 5 guards, anybody can go off.
Davis drives the paint, can't finish. Watts, well defended for Maryland. And Old Dominion shooting below 29%. Saunders, back of the rim, and snatched by Turner.
I like his aggressiveness in transition, though. Those threes will fall.
Shaw missed a step back and punched out. And out of bounds off of Swanton Roger for Old Dominion.
Win, but those are beautiful shots, and they will go in at a future date.
ODU's taking with the zone. Yeah, Coy wants the screen. Outside Adams, knocks down the triple.
And just patience, poise, and confidence against the zone. That's what it takes. You don't have to rush, try to get the ball inside, but shooters being ready to shoot on the perimeter, that's how you punish the zone.
6-0 response from Maryland. And a lead by 17, 29-12. Ball nearly thrown away. Casey Shaw, spin move, off balance, and Washington cleans it up.
This is the defensive effort you expect from a Buzz Williams team. They haven't given it every game this year, although they played some tough competition, but every catch for Old Dominion is tough. That's making them get into their offense a little more spread out, a little slower, a little more difficult to do what they want to do.
Adams, good ball control here. Step through, left his feet. 4 to shoot for Washington. And on a solo, fades, and no whistle. And a shot clock violation as Washington thought he was nicked. But a violation on Maryland, and that for the game is their first turnover.
Yeah, and in that moment, I know it's tough with the clock winding down, but I'd love to see Washington swing it and go set a ball screen, let one of his guards try to make a play. One-on-one, a little bit more space for them to make a play.
Shaw with ODU shooting 23%. Turner now off the mark on a 3. They're 2 for 8 now from beyond the arc. Diggy Coit around the screen. Wiggins staying with him. Adams has been poised so far tonight, Tavares.
Yeah, all of his shot attempts have come in rhythm. And that's what, as a coach, that's what you want to see. You want to see shots in rhythm, not force, not taking 7 or 8 dribbles to make a play.
Up and under, no. And punched out. Here's Davis. Robert Davis Jr. finds the open man, nearly thrown down by Swanton Roger, but a foul.
Robert Davis Jr. did a great job last game with 10 defensive rebounds. What that does is it allows him to push the pace. That time he got a defensive rebound. Yes, he's a great shooter, but he's capable of pushing, allow the other teammates to get out and run.
Swanton Roger gets another. Davis, this is his 3rd game with the new haircut. Whoa. Gone are the dreads, in is the shorter look.
I've known him a long time. We tried to recruit him out of high school, and I don't know this new Davis look. I recognize that old guy.
Well, he's shooting 30% from 3, and the shave is not meant to media results yet. We'll see if that comes when conference play resumes on New Year's Eve against Appalachian State. But go for it, young fella.
Absolutely.
See what works.
Full transparency, I had to do the same thing as a player, although I went with headband and high socks. That's what we did back in the 2000s, as my daughter would call it.
You were like Slick Watts and Michael Cooper.
Yeah, exactly. But it worked for me. I think I went from, around 10 points a game to about 15, 16 a game.
Wow.
Just something to mix it up. Players are superstitious.
And there is a well-represented guy in College Park. You got to wear the Under Armours when you're in this building, right?
Absolutely.
Even if you're an opponent. Washington at the line. Swanton Roger with his third. And Washington earns another on the bonus trip. That fouled the 7th on ODU. So Maryland a 17-0 start if you're just joining us. Right now with 18-point lead, matching their largest at 30-12. And why is Washington so important to ours, to the immediate success of this team as he makes a second?
Yeah, Washington brings a different level of energy. And again, defensive intensity, rebounding, pressure, all of those things come from passion and heart. And that's what Washington does for this group.
10 seconds on Old Dominion. And Mike Jones saying you've got to be aware, Jordan Battle.
Absolutely. No one came back to the ball to help. You got to flash into the middle. You got to give him an opportunity to throw it to someone up the side or throw it to someone in the middle.
Mills, Watts, Adams, Washington, and Saunders for Maryland. Adams frees up the open man. Watts drives the closeout. Elijah Saunders skips it out. Mills wide open. Buries the three.
The Terps worked on that step-up ball screen during shoot-around. They didn't get a shot for the corner guy off the step-up, but what it did is it put Old Dominion in rotation. Couple extra passes, they were able to get it done, get the wide-open three.
Nice spin by McKenna, ends an 11-0 Maryland run, but ODU was scoreless for over 4 minutes, and the Terps right now by 20. Adams drives, gets stripped, and a steal by McKenna. Back the other way, Wiggins for Davis, trailing at 3. Back to the rim. And Mills with the deflection and the rebound. Mills turns the corner right to the rim for 2. A 94-foot finish.
Long shots lead to long rebounds. Allow Maryland to get out in transition. You can be in attack mode when you play great defense and force it into a tough miss.
Nearing the 3-minute mark of this first half. Deep three, McKenna.
Drew McKenna's been aggressive. He's another Maryland product. Spent his time at Glenelg Country, but he's super aggressive today, and they need it. He scored their first basket and hasn't looked back. Those young people are also having a positive impact on Buzz's student athletes. And to see Diggy Coit out there having fun, Darius Adams right there on the drive, and his first experience with being a college athlete and doing more than just playing basketball, I think it's an awesome opportunity for these young men.
Cheers to all. The Buzz's bunch night here in College Park. Wiggins inside, can't finish. It's ripped away by Donovan Raymond. Goes back to work and nearly throws it to Buzz. Look out. Oh, Buzz, get out of there.
I thought Buzz was going to get on the floor there, but as we talked about a few times throughout, the energy coming from this group is a lot different. The pressure, the loose balls, the hands on passes. But Coach Buzz, quick reflection, bad hands. Get on the floor, young fella.
I don't know. It was off Buzz. That's a turnover.
He wasn't first to the floor. You gotta get it while it's low.
One of the game's great characters, right, in coaching and beyond.
Absolutely. His entire bench, it's fun to watch him.
Officially, it was Adams' second foul. Shaw throws it up, and he's decked by Coit. Yeah, free throws coming up for Casey. 1 year in New Orleans, then Marquette for 6. Virginia Tech for 5 years, and a lot of people at the time thought you're leaving a great Big East job for Virginia Tech, and then he goes to Texas A&M, and it's like you're leaving the SEC for Maryland, but it's a DMV. He's recruited it over the years. It's Maryland. It's the right fit. He's thrilled to be here.
Even if you look at their incoming recruiting class, which has gotten so much love, I think it's ranked as high as number 3 in the country.
Yeah.
Those kids are from all over the place. Yes, you got Baba, who's from this area, but he's got players from throughout the country. Buzz is capable of being at a lot of different places and still having an impact.
36-14, a 22-point lead, their largest this first half, and was it deflected? It was, so Maryland's going to keep it with 9 on the shot clock. Coming up, stick around for the halftime show presented by State Farm. Rick Pizzo and Rayfel Davis back.
Trying to win this game, but it's got to be special to be home.
9 NBA players under his watch: Chet Matha, Victor Oladipo, the Grant brothers, Markelle Fultz, as the Terps strike again. A 39-14 lead, their largest so far, and it's Watts this time.
Incredible execution. Leading up to this game, I didn't see Maryland trying to score on baseline out of bounds a lot. But earlier today in shoot-around, they were working on that play. Great screens, able to get Watts the shot they wanted.
And look, Old Dominion's played just a really tough non-conference schedule with tons of road games away from Norfolk. Maryland, Xavier, some really good East Coast rivalries with George Washington, George Mason, Richmond. Right now they need to get back to Sun Belt play because Watts and Maryland are having their way. It's 42-14.
Once again, step-up ball screen. The goal is to get Old Dominion to sink in to get that 2-on-1 opposite, which they were able to do.
And Wiggins, nice answer, cruising the baseline.
He looked like Andrew Wiggins on that play. Incredible drive, explosive finish.
His brother Aaron with Maryland for those 3 years. Andrew Wiggins, a champion in his own right with Golden State. 37 seconds off the screen. Watts hits another one. First start tonight. He's got 17.
That's a welcome sight for Coach Buzz. Again, they're getting him threes off of action, off of movement. Out of bounds play, then a step-up ball screen. That time they ran him off a baseline stagger. Explosive score, beautiful three-point shot.
13 seconds. Watts 4 of Maryland's 10 threes already. 6 seconds. Shaw blocked by Washington. Wiggins the cleanup. And that will do it for the first half. In the first half of play, Old Dominion, meanwhile, shot just 28% and 8 turnovers. Maryland only 2, but Mills right there with the trip of Shaw. And Mills picks it up. That's number 1 on Andre Mills. 17-0 start for Maryland, their best opening game since the defending champion Terps in 2003. First year in this building, their 9th game ever at Xfinity Center against Florida State. Great number from Jason Yellen, who heads Maryland Athletic Communications. Gave us that stat at halftime.
That's amazing. I would have been in Europe playing professional basketball. The Terps won the championship my senior year of college.
Wow. Nice move by Shaw to get the rebound and stick back. 45-20. And Maryland with Mills, Washington, Adams, Watts, and Saunders. And there's the soft fade that time from Adams. Shots look really good from all levels so far.
Silky smooth. If you're Buzz Williams and his staff, you want to implore your guys to stay aggressive. Don't get comfortable. Keep trying to build for a long Big Ten season to come.
Oh, Shaw pushed the English and a finish, and Casey Shaw with a chance at 3 for Old Dominion.
It's amazing. Shaw hasn't made a three-pointer all year, and he's still able to find ways to get into the paint. Closing out hard on Shaw, knowing that he hasn't made one, is probably not the right strategy there.
And Mills with his second so far this half. The senior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Last year played at Maryland Eastern Shore. Before that, at Winston-Salem State. Shout out to Earl the Pearl Monroe.
Absolutely. And kudos to Shaw. He finds a way. 16 points per game without making threes from the guard slot. That means you're doing something right as it pertains to driving and making pull-ups.
First foul on Battle, and number 1 on Old Dominion this half. And Battle's going to exit. In place comes Zach Wiggins. You know, Shaw, Tavares, wants to be an athletic director in his future.
Yeah, that's in today's world. That's a surprising. But we need more. We need more.
Yes.
Basketball players, football players, guys that are in the fight going after those AD jobs. So when we get these decision-making opportunities, they actually know what it feels like to be these kids that are now getting paid to play.
That was a healthy, honest pause from a former coach and player.
Absolutely.
8 to shoot for the Terps. Mills off the inbounds. Yeah, weak side going the other way. Washington is called for the foul. Now Santa Buzz Williams will review it and challenge, and Buzz with a 24-point lead will not.
Great call on the no call there, Buzz.
But when you miss a call, maybe they did, maybe they didn't, you can stew a little bit and get a little leash.
Absolutely.
Shaw off the high screen, switched on to Washington. Casey Shaw to the basket for 2. Nice move by Shaw.
His hesitation game is really what creates those opportunities. He lulls you to sleep and then explodes to an attack. Explosive finish for Shaw there.
He has 9 points. Adams, tough shot for Maryland.
His game again, silky, silky smooth. Able to get to his spots, can elevate over, fade a little bit. Pure touch on that release.
Weak side of steal. Washington in alone. Windmill slams it down. Solo.
I'm glad he didn't get a technical. I know he wanted to celebrate right there, but incredible, explosive, athletic play. I love watching Solo Washington. I really enjoy his energy.
Wiggins can't answer. 51-25 Maryland, and Mills with his 3rd foul all this half in the first 2:40.
Great pressure defense, put 2 on the ball, allow Solo to get outside, get into the paint, windmill dunk, explosive, explosive for the young fella. I could only windmill at a trampoline park, and I was a pretty good dunker.
I was going to say.
People don't understand how difficult it is to actually windmill as you're jumping in the air.
And in a game, when you know you get maybe, what, like 3 chances all season.
You know, I like the way Buzz kind of let Solo be himself.
Yep.
And so if he would have missed that, I'm sure Buzz would have turned around and pretended he didn't see it.
Inside foul against George Turkson for Maryland, already their 4th as a team. But that's something that you're seeing with Buzz Williams and his players. We were at shoot-around. He was having that active dialogue with David Coit. Washington, one of his former players at A&M, so there's familiarity there as well.
Yeah. No, Buzz Williams has recognized that you got to adjust a little bit to the times. And yelling and screaming at guys in today's world doesn't always translate into harder play or more effective play. And so he's been an incredible communicator, finding different ways to get these guys to play the way that he wants them to play.
He is cracking up the officials, having a dialogue there with Stephen McJunkins. And Buzz right now is leaning against the baseline table. Washington gets free, and it's going the other way as bodies go flying. I mean, isn't Buzz supposed to be on the other side of the bench? You ever do this?
As a head coach that works so hard, you and your staff, you put so much effort and energy into preparing these young men for these games. To be able to get a moment during the game to relax a little bit, it doesn't happen too often. I'm glad he's able to take advantage of it.
All right. Back to the usual spot.
And his usual spot is at half court. I don't want to put him on the spot or get him in trouble with the league, but Buzz Williams is one of the most out of the coaching box coaches that I know.
This is a 47-foot, get the hard-working type of pace. Nice shot there by ODU. Here comes Saunders. Rice reverses it. Catch and shoot 3 for Watts. Made 4 threes in the first half and knocked out last by Adams.
It didn't go in, but that was a pro-level shot. They passed it high. He kept it high. Didn't take a lot of time. A lot of NBA players work on that shot. I have a kid, Santi Aldama, who's a star for the Grizzlies. I love to see when he shoots that shot. They can throw it up there, just let him catch it and release.
Hey, kudos. You find a guy from Spain who was a late first rounder, impact guy at the mid-major level. Third chance, Raymond sticks it back for ODU.
I was expecting
27, Maryland with the lead.
Raymond getting some much needed playing time up front for those guys. He can rebound the ball, can finish around the basket.
Long two miss by Adams. Shaw for two, can't drop it in, and Davis brought down and fouled. 97 years together, this current staff. Last year's staff was over 100 years together at A&M. And there's great familiarity as Shaw's fouled. He's going to shoot two for ODU. And, you know, this misnomer, you know, players don't like the intense coach. They don't want to be coached up. I disagree. I'm sure you do too. Players, when you get the right guy they trust, they love being coached hard.
Absolutely. And I love that soundbite by Diggy Coy, who basically said he wants it. He seeks it. That's a big reason why he chose to play for Buzz Williams. And what I also like about his staff, you look at Wabisa Beatty, you look at Seth Allen, you look at guys that are not only in the fight with him now, but they were in the fight with him years ago on the court. And that's what I want in a coach. That's who I would want my son to play for, someone that's going to reach back and bring up guys that he had a chance to coach in the past.
Now, Maryland's led by as many as 29, the lead now at 22. Adams gets double teamed, good skip out to Alston for three. Missed it. He's got a nice stroke, though, normally at 6'10".
Yeah, incredibly versatile player. Great for him to get some real meaningful minutes. It's a lot of game left, and so the more he can be out there, the more it'll be able to help him grow in his game.
5 and change expired here in the second half. Off the Raymond screen, Shaw fires, and it's short. Off the glass, tipped up and snatched by Turkson.
Maryland doing a better job than they have been this season so far, fighting over those ball screens, not letting ODU get an edge to the rim, and it's making a difference. All of their shots are tough.
Let's see what Rice can do. Working around the horn, Watts, hot hand early. 5 to shoot. Austin to his left shoulder, no.
Great defensive possession that time for ODU. Want to stack those as best you can. It's tough, but like I said, it's a lot of game left. They're still playing for something as well.
Wiggins tucks in and scores, puts some spin on it.
It's been a nice burst of energy this game. Scoring different ways, getting into the paint, able to create, able to finish at the rim.
He is a point, Zach Wiggins. The Maryland bench is scoreless still. No bench points. Foul there on the hedge for...
Coming off Christmas break, you want to give your guys a chance to get back into a rhythm before conference play kicks off.
It's like many businesses close the books for 2025. Adams off the mark. Inside. Missed shot, but free throws coming for George Turkson.
I would love to see George Turkson finish that. Just one of those situations where he has good spring, he has a lot of bounce, quick hands. Put that in the basket, big fella. It'll really make a difference, especially with Pharrell Payne being out.
One of the guys who came with Buzz Williams from College Station. Northeast guy from Lowell, Mass. And he's only playing his 6th game. He missed 7 in the middle of the season with a leg injury. And they're missing that guy big time, Pharrell Payne. They played such a hard schedule, Tavares, Maryland. And Payne right now with over 17 points per game. The presence, the rim protection. And again, the hope with him with the knee injury is he's back within the next 2 weeks, hopefully.
Absolutely. And we talked about some of Maryland's Ken Palm numbers, and they're not great. Look at 2-point defense and just things of that nature. They're not off the charts, but they've played a really difficult schedule. They played 8 what we would call perennial power conference teams. You know, Gonzaga, even though they're not in a Power 5, we know they're a perennial power, and so there's not a lot of teams at this level that have played 8 other teams their size.
And they forced a 10th turnover by ODU. Maryland with just 3 turnovers tonight. And Coyd will run the show. A 21-point lead at 52-31. Adams relocates, pulls up for 2. But again, you like the decision making, right?
Yeah, they ran him off the line, but he got to his spot. That one dribble pull up is something that I trust him to take and make that shot every time down the floor.
Nice switch and finish for Donovan Raymond for Old Dominion.
Yeah, Raymond has come in and given him a spark. Caleb on the bench and just adding a different level in the pick and roll, being able to explode to the rim and finish.
Couple of screens set for Coit. Here's Adams again, drives it, spins, steps, spins, in and out. And Metcalf is horse-collared.
Aldama, just an awesome experience, and I'm so glad to be able to switch sides right now and be able to spend some time with you and the Big Ten crew.
A lot of pride for you, a lot of fun for us to be with you. And I always say the coaches who come to television as the 3 misses for battle, in between jobs maybe, or maybe after a coaching career, I mean, you guys are so much more relaxed now than we used to know you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, at the end of tonight, I'm going to be 0-0 still.
Your record's great on TV.
Exactly. But this is fun, and it's challenging. It's a new experience. Being able to call games is fun. Did some studio last week. That was my first time doing that, and I really enjoyed the opportunity. I got my man Rafael Davis, Kylan Mills. They showed me the ropes, so this is just an incredible just feeling to be able to do this for the Big Ten.
A lot of food options along West Chicago Avenue.
Oh, that's still home. First 30 years of my life before, except for playing overseas, was in the city of Chicago. And it's just an awesome city, but I love the DMV as well in Baltimore.
Free throws for Jordan Battle, Norfolk native out of Coastal Carolina. He transferred in, played Division I Utah Valley, and then a year in community college in Salt Lake, and the free throw was short. You know, I worked with someone, I'm not going to name him, but we're talking, he's a former coach, he's now working in television, East Coast guy, and we're eating lunch, and he said, what's the key? I said, you know, just you prepare, you do your thing, but have fun. And he goes, see, when I coached, the games were agony.
Yeah.
And you know what you guys deal with, the amount you put into it, you've got kids, you don't know what the chemistry is going to be like. I mean, it's your life's work, but man, it could be tough.
Yeah, it's fun too, but you put so much effort into preparing these guys, and there's a lot of variables, a lot of things you can't control. So you got to be ready to make adjustments, but you know, I enjoyed my 18-year coaching career. I'm still enjoying being able to get out and coach my kids from time to time. I know I mentioned them a bunch on this broadcast, but that's been fun for me, just being able to impact their lives as well and help them pursue their goals with sports.
Amen. All right, 10:29 to go. Maryland, remember, they scored the first 17 points of the game, led by as many as 29. And lead's been cut to 18 at 54-36. Rice to the rim, an opening, and he scores.
It's difficult to determine your ball screen coverage. Maryland flipped that ball screen, Elijah Saunders, about 2 or 3 times in one possession, able to allow the drive to the basket.
McKenna to the rim, reversal, no. Washington battling to flex it out to Rice. Rice, look out. I saw that enough that Battle went flying.
Say Jordan Battle has had a tough night.
Yeah.
But you and I saw it shoot around. He was an incredible leader for this group. He talked the whole time. He had the highest level of energy, imploring those guys to make shots. And, you know, you hate that he had a bad game. I hope he doesn't take that as his energy caused it and bring that energy every day, which, as Coach Jones has talked about, I'm sure he will.
He's playing for his hometown school. Last year, Coastal Carolina was best in the Sun Belt at the foul line. Shot 42% from 3. A big coup for Mike Jones to get him to transfer within the league.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You look at his body language right now because, again, he brought the energy, and you want to see it work out. But, again, if he ever watches this broadcast, I hope he hears us saying, we saw it, we noticed it, and I know that that's going to pay off big time, not only for him, but for this ODU squad when they get into Sun Belt play.
Washington to the rim, hangs and finishes.
Another ball of energy guy. And seeing him attack the basket, you saw that explosive windmill. It's like a freight train coming through. He can get to the rim and finish a lot of ways.
McKenna couldn't connect. Rebound for Saunders. Andre Mills cross-court whips it to Coit. Saunders pops for three, knocks it down.
Yeah, that's a huge shot. Again, playing a little bit out of position with Pharrell Payne being out, but his ability to both post up from the elbow and score inside, but also take those pick and pop shots and make them. He missed a couple early, but I knew when you look at that stroke, he's going to be a great shooter for the Terps.
Tavares, Maryland's made 11 threes. That was their first this half. Shaw, spin move, missed it, and Watts is there for the rebound. Bills with a seam to the rim, and he's stripped by Scotty Hubbard. It stays with Maryland. The ball's moving a bit differently tonight. The shots haven't just been going down, but they've been good looks. Old Dominion, yeah, they've played a tough schedule. They're a bit tired and worn down, but you have to love the way the Maryland offense, for the most part, has looked, especially from the outside.
Yeah, they're getting them, as we mentioned a few times, different ways. A lot of assisted baskets, a lot of set plays, but also just at the end of the day, guys stepping up and making shots, being ready on time, on target passes. It's a fun way to play the game of basketball when you can point to the person that threw it to you and say, good pass.
Rice back in very quickly for Maryland, trying to get it back in time. And Mike Jones and his staff saying, let's go. In for Coit.
Yeah, he probably wants to get some of these guys to see their family and get out of here, but they're going to keep fighting.
Yep.
Again, they've been down before, and at this stage, you're working on a lot of different things. You don't want to pack it in. You don't want to feel too bad. You want to keep attacking and keep trying to give yourself a chance to get some momentum going into the next game.
And Casey Shaw will shoot a pair for Old Dominion. And both teams in the bonus, so free throws the remainder of the game with 8:04 to play. And Watts with his second for the Terps. So Shaw back at the line where he's 3 of 5 tonight.
Yeah, he's constantly getting to the paint, getting downhill.
The Big Show delivers highlights, post-game interviews, and complete analysis tonight at 10 Eastern and 7 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Now, students are gone on break, but you have a lot of young fans. 6 o'clock tip, I bet the parents saying, we've got to get you guys out of the house. And they've been loud tonight.
And I can bet if Maryland gets to that 67th point, they're going to be even louder.
What is it, 6-7's a thing?
6-7.
That's going the other way. Offensive on Casey Shaw. Yeah, look out.
Miles Rice sacrificing his body. Model.
And you confirmed with him this morning when he was at DeMath in 19 years, right down the road, he never sent a kid to Maryland, just didn't pan out that way. And Buzz Williams at Virginia Tech, Marquette, Texas A&M, never sent a kid to a Buzz Williams coach team, even though Buzz was always recruiting the DMV.
Yeah, 2 things. I know one thing about Mike Jones is he never made a kid go anywhere.
Right.
He always let the kid. He had great families, great parents. They made those choices. But a couple things with DeMatha being so close, sometimes kids just want to get away.
Yep.
The other thing to think about is DeMatha's one of the top Nike programs in the country, and Maryland has done a great job recruiting kids and have had a lot of success. You think of Derek Queen, who played on that Under Armour circuit. But Mike Jones, obviously, he came back to coach here He had Jameer Young, who he didn't recruit. He wasn't on staff yet, but that is a DeMatha player that they didn't get out of high school, but they got him on the rebound. And obviously Jameer Young had a great time here in College Park.
He brought his team back to practice at DeMatha. And knocked out of bounds. Loose ball foul before that, though, over the back on Hubbard. And the funny thing is they actually did their walkthrough this morning at DeMatha, but came to Xfinity Center to get some shots up. But did they run any of their stuff? No,
Coach,
not in this building.
Coach definitely took on an old school approach. I don't know any school that would have people hiding out or video recording, but I know a lot of coaches that are worried that people are.
Yes.
I remember coaches going and sending the trainer to check the bathrooms and making sure nobody's hiding out in the upper deck. This way, Mike Jones didn't have to worry about that. He worked on everything that would apply to tonight at his old stomping grounds.
Washington is another, you hear the stories of, janitors trying to do his job. And occasionally you get a coach who is just so locked in and, quite frankly, isn't seeing it both ways, saying, get the janitor out here. It's like the man is doing his job.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I know, again, back in the day, everybody was looking for every edge, but I can't imagine karma would allow you to have success if you're watching someone in shoot around. But
well said.
I understand superstition. I understand people want to be cautious.
Turner for three, off the mark, and Washington cleans it up. So under 7 left, a 65-40 lead for Maryland. Rice rips through but misses. Watts second chance for three. And this time Turner collects.
The crowd actually yelled because they didn't want that three to go in. They want to see a two-point basket so that they can get this 6-7 cheer.
3 balls, good for Shaw as he looks at his teammates. All right, I think you nailed it. Let's see what they do.
It'll be interesting. The Maryland players aren't thinking about that right now. Obviously, the coaches aren't thinking about it, but certainly if they can do it, I know it makes the crowd happy.
Buzz, timeout. If they score here, it's going to be called 6-7.
Absolutely.
The name of the play.
It's like they're in a man-to-man coming out of this timeout. So I'm sure he gave them 1 or 2 different sets to be able to get the ball to the basket.
The kids want a 2. Well, Maryland oblige. Adams pull up, it's a 2. It's good.
That is the person to go get it. His ability to score in the mid-range.
6-7.
They got it.
Excuse me. 6-7.
6-7. They are going nuts.
So if you're a Maryland fan, everybody, young and old, is going to leave home happy or go home happy at this rate if it holds a 24-point lead.
It is amazing, right? Like, there is no doubt in my mind, Coach Buzz Williams said in the huddle, or at least someone said, we need to get a 2-pointer here.
And now a coach's challenge on the watch of Buzz Williams. And I think they're going to look at the out-of-bounds play here with 5:46 to go.
Yeah, you're still fighting for your possessions. You're fighting, as Coach Buzz Williams has said many times, it's not necessarily about the outcome.
The previous out-of-bounds play is being challenged by Maryland.
Wins or losses and the outcomes, but it is about the process and learning when to go after these challenges. In some ways, who to trust. Solo says it's not off me. Coach Buzz is going to give him a shot. If he loses this challenge, he may not trust him the next time.
I don't know. You think that's Solo? I do.
I thought Solo had that little push with his wrist at the end off of his fingertips. You got to be careful as a player. You can't lose credibility with your coach if you say it's not off you. Yeah, I think this is Old Dominion's basketball.
And the original call is that it was Old Dominion ball as well. So the challenge rule, let's refresh it. You need a timeout to challenge. If you're successful, you keep the timeout and the challenge again. You can challenge a second time. If you're successful, you keep the timeout, but you lose the challenge. You only get 2 of them total.
Absolutely. Exactly right. And I will say Turner's hand went forward a little bit as well. So it's just a matter to see what they feel.
And Brian Dorsey. Here we go.
Upon review, the challenge is unsuccessful. It'll be Old Dominion ball on the baseline. Maryland has lost a timeout as well as the ability to challenge the remaining of the game.
And there you go.
Brian Dorsey loved that moment.
Not like Billy Kennedy in the NBA. The best of the best.
He had a little bit of soft-spokenness to him on that one.
Direct. He understood it. Turner for 3. Way off. Adams sneaks in for the rebound.
Again, another local product. Would love to see one of those go down for Jared Turner, but he's a really good shooter. Just pressing a little bit tonight, playing in front of the hometown crowd.
67-43 Maryland. They've led by as many as 29. Again, a 17-0 start, and they have not looked back. Adams, 5 to shoot, pulls up, missed it. And Davis, who's been quiet, he's played a ton of minutes despite starting. 1 of 7 shooting, gets that latest rebound. When they get to Sun Belt play, I mean, he was the preseason player of the year. Shaw is able to connect from 20. But Robert Davis, 9 points per game. This has not been the starts of the year he wants, but it's going to need to improve for them to have a real shot in the league.
No, he's a really good player, really good kid, and they are going to need him to get himself going. And, you know, his ability to shoot and stretch the floor, it still exists. So again, I mentioned earlier, you want to see a couple of those go in, and then you can start to relax and stop pressing and play your style of basketball.
6 Maryland turnover off of Coit. He says, my bad. And there's Robert Davis Jr. from Detroit, Michigan. Played at UMass for a year. Now he's second at Old Dominion. Gets doubled. Working around. And Maryland recovers. Shaw on the drive. And stripped and taken away by Rice. That's now 6 Maryland steals. Adams tucks it, and before the strip was fouled. And both teams in the double bonus now. So 2 shots coming for Darius Adams, the freshman from New Jersey.
Yeah, Old Dominion is not doing a great job of taking care of the basketball. A lot of their penetration is being met with bodies and hands. A lot of deflections, a lot of guys going in, yanking at the ball. They got to do a better job of when they draw those defenders of being quick to kick it out, and then you can re-attack. But when you try to get in deep and try to go to the old Stephon Marbury gather, Maryland's just too quick with their hands, and they're really bothering Old Dominion in that situation.
Oh, back row buzz. Second row.
Looks like he's sitting on that Phil Jackson chair from the old days.
Like the last few years of Phil Jackson. This is Bucks is 52.
Yeah. He's not as tall as Phil, so
No.
might have to jump up a little bit to get on that chair.
That man exerts a lot of energy.
He's done a great job. The city of Baltimore, the DMV area, the state of Maryland, they're going to really appreciate what Buzz line for Diggy Coit, right? He had been so explosive. Would love to see him try to get to the paint, try to get a couple shots off, make sure he still has that rhythm that he's played with, because they're going to really need it.
Wiggins at the line, makes a second. The bench points for Maryland, we talked about this earlier, but for the game, it's ODU 24, and Maryland with only 5 bench points, which is a little surprising when you think about the minutes they played. And now a chance for those guys. Washington jab step in a 3. In comes Shaw flying in for the rebound.
Yeah, and again, kudos to Coit, right? He has 6 assists.
Yeah.
That was another opportunity on the throwback to Solo Washington. But again, we know if this game was closer, he would be more aggressive for his shot. And I think that could really help the Terps finish this game out if he got a little bit more aggressive down the stretch.
Yeah, Coy with his third. Some more free throws for Wiggins. We asked Buzz Williams because, you know, we caught up with him. I did a game in early December, and he said we are so far from where we need to be as Wiggins makes the first. And I asked him again, what about now? It's been 26 days. He said, we haven't won since then, but they are getting a little bit better, and he is seeing some improvement. Practice today, he liked the way the ball was moving and the quick decisions. That's going to help as they get into the teeth of the hardest conference there is.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people know that Buzz Williams liked to run his program in a lot of ways like a football team. He has an offensive coordinator, he has a defensive coordinator. This shoot-around was incredibly well structured, disciplined, energetic, and really that helped them set the tone. Now they want to play for the full 40 minutes and finish this game with that same type of energy, which is not always easy when you build a big lead.
Now Washington turns it over, contested three, but it's good for Hubbard. And ODU is back within 16 with 2:50 left.
Again, kudos to Mike Jones for continuing to go away easy.
Watts, his first start as a Terp tonight. And knocked out last by Maryland with 2:30 to play. 19 years for Buzz Williams as a Division I head coach. Elijah Saunders in his first year with Maryland, part of the overhaul roster that began taking shape when Buzz got the job on April 1st. Right to the rim goes Wiggins. Adams got a piece of it. And a steal for Maryland, but look out, Saunders not ready. It's kicked to Shaw. Shaw to the basket for two, and again, that's just awareness.
Yeah, I mean, the change of possession to have Saunders just kind of arguably the top team in the country, but there's no nights off in the Big Ten. And to be able to have a chance to play a couple of home games to start this January session is going to be important for Maryland.
Final 2 minutes. Miles Rice running the show. Washington staying in there. Without Paynes played big minutes. 31 here tonight in his 5th game back. Rice stop and go. Adams for three. Here's Wiggins. Nice cut by Turner for two on a give and go. And another timeout by Mike Jones. Leaves them with one left. The lead's down to 12 with 1:30 left.
I mean, this is one of those moments where you need a guy like Pharrell Payne to kind of calm the storm. I mean, shooting a lot of threes is allowing ODU to get out in transition, and it's speeding up the game. Maybe go to Elijah Saunders on that elbow post up, something to try to get the ball into the paint. See if you can get some type of basket, maybe get fouled, and get a more higher percentage shot.
Coming up, the Hoops doubleheader continues as Oregon faces Omaha. Next on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. So for really breaking it down strategically, what do you think? Maryland is maybe a mistake and giving up a basket away from this really getting scary.
Well, you see, Coach Buzz Williams, his energy is changing right now, and he is really, really challenging Solomon Washington to bring back that passion that he had. And you never want to see a game where you kind of sleepwalk through the finish. And ultimately what it's going to take is a couple big, strong, athletic plays, and Solomon Washington is the type of guy that Buzz Williams can fire up to do it.
Rice trying to get it in. Washington with it. Right to the basket, and will shoot two. It would have been two shots regardless, but the clock stops, and it took just 3 seconds there for Maryland, and the foul for Old Dominion is on, I believe, Wiggins. That's his third.
Way to answer the bell, solo Washington, right? Your coach challenges you in a timeout on national television, and you come to play that next possession, but really good attacking the basket.
Yeah, the free throw, he's 5 for 5 tonight. A double-double, 11 points, 11 rebounds. He missed his presence big time. A return against Wagner on December 2nd. Second one rims out, so the lead's 13.
Maryland needs to fight for a stop right here. Don't pick up a foul. Don't let them get downhill. Fight for this stop, get a strong rebound, finish this game.
Inside, Wiggins missed, but the putback popped out too.
Yeah, it's starting with that dribble penetration. I mean, bad things happen when you let people touch the paint like that, and they got a little lucky on that possession. They came away with the stop, but again, to continue to give up that type of dribble penetration, it's going to be a long season if you don't make a remedy for that problem.
8 to shoot, Rice to the rim, the switch, and that lefty finish.
Again, I like them returning the favor and attacking the basket. This stage to close out this game, you can't just jack threes.
Robert Davis with the bounce, gives him 5 points, and timeout called by Mike Jones, their final one with 36.5 to go. Maryland's going to survive. A bit imperfect the final 10 minutes. When they were at 67, you figured, all right, they're going to score a few more points, and it was only 4.
Yeah, that's, I don't know if we can call that an announcer's jinx, but it's a heck of a way to finish right there.
For the dunk.
Again, Buzz knew who to go after in that timeout, and Washington answered the bell.
And that's it. The Terps go wire to wire, and they win it again.